building has already settled into its deepest quiet. Only a few lights remain on behind frosted glass. Paper rests where it was last placed. Nothing inside expects to be opened. You don't need to stay with every sentence. The words can drift, like dust suspended in still air. The archive room sits far from the main entrance. Corridors leading to it feel longer at night. Footsteps would echo here, but none arrive. The door is closed, not locked, simply untouched. Inside, tall shelves rise in careful rows. Boxes are labeled in small, precise handwriting. Dates, street names, old references. Everything waits without urgency. Folders lean gently against one another. Their edges are softened from use. Nothing slips, nothing presses forward. The order feels practiced, not strict. A desk lamp glows near the center. Its light is warm and narrow. It illuminates only what is necessary. The rest of the room remains dim, comfortable, contained. Air moves slowly through a vent near the ceiling, not enough to stir paper, just enough to exist. The room breathes quietly. Somewhere in the building, pipes cool after the day. Metal contracts softly. The sound never reaches this room fully. It fades before becoming clear. Time begins to feel different here. Minutes are not measured. They feel archived, stacked like folders on a shelf. Nothing rushes them forward. A chair rests beside the desk, wooden, solid, unmoved. It has waited like this many nights before. Drawers in the filing cabinets remain closed. Their handles catch faint light. No label asks to be read. The contents remain private, patient. Dust floats through the lamp's beam, slow, unhurried, each particle drifting without purpose. It settles where it lands, then disappears from notice. Outside this room, the city sleeps. Streets grow empty. Traffic lights change for no one. None of that reaches here. The archive holds smaller histories, permits, maps, letters, ordinary records kept quietly, without judgment. Paper absorbs sound. Even silence feels softened. The room feels padded by years of stored moments. Nothing echoes sharply. The lamp hums faintly, a sound so small it blends with stillness. It does not flicker. It does not strain. It simply remains on. Time loosens further. Thoughts no longer form sequences. They appear, then rest, like files return to their place. Shelves remain straight. Boxes remain aligned. Nothing leans too far. The balance feels familiar, reassuring, calm. Some folders carry handwritten notes, ink faded slightly, still legible. No one reads them now. They are complete without attention. The room does not anticipate morning. It does not prepare for activity. It exists in pause, neutral, reliable. Air continues to move gently. Paper remains still. Light holds its shape. Everything supports everything else. Minutes pass without being counted. Hours soften around the edges. The night feels wide, but contained within these walls. The archive remains quiet. The hall remains asleep. The city remains distant. Nothing presses inward. There is no final task here. No page left unfinished. No drawer waiting to be closed. Everything rests where it belongs. The lamp continues its steady glow. The shelves continue to hold their weight. The room continues to keep its calm. And the night moves on outside, while inside, the stillness stays exactly as it is, unbroken, until morning arrives, unnoticed. The archive keeps its quiet agreement with the night. Nothing shifts its position. Nothing asks to be handled. The room remains exactly as it was left. Light from the desk lamp continues to rest on the wood. Its edge stays soft. Its reach remains limited. It does not wander across the shelves. It does not search for details. It simply stays present. Paper absorbs the stillness. Folders hold their shape. Boxes remain stacked with practiced balance. Nothing presses forward. Nothing leans too far. The air carries a faint scent of paper and dust. Old ink, cardboard, wood. It feels familiar, grounding, unchanging. Somewhere above, the building settles. A distant contraction, a sound too small to define. It fades before becoming clear, leaving the archive untouched. Time loosens further here. It does not pass in minutes. It spreads gently, layer by layer. Like documents placed carefully into storage, one beside another, without urgency. Shelves stretch quietly toward the far wall, each row identical, each height measured. The repetition feels comforting, predictable, steady. A stack of folders rests slightly apart from the others. Not out of place, just waiting. No label calls for attention. No date demands to be remembered. The chair remains close to the desk, its position unchanged, its presence patient. It does not invite movement. It simply waits, as it always has. Light dust drifts again through the lamp's glow. Slow, unhurried. Each particle follows its own path, then disappears from notice, settling where it belongs. Outside the archive, corridors remain empty. No footsteps echo. No voices carry through the walls. The building feels vast but distant, as if this room exists slightly apart from it. Time becomes harder to define. Thoughts no longer connect. They appear softly, then rest, like notes written once, then filed away, complete. Metal handles on the cabinets catch the light. Edges soften. Reflections fade. No drawer moves. No lock turns. The archive holds ordinary histories, permits that were approved, maps that guided streets now changed, letters written once, then finished. Nothing dramatic, nothing unresolved. Paper does not demand memory. It simply holds what it was given, quietly, without judgment. The room feels heavy with calm, not weight. The lamp continues its low hum, a sound so constant it almost disappears. It does not strain. It does not falter. It simply remains on, doing exactly enough. Time stretches again, not forward, not backward. It rests evenly across the shelves, between the folders, inside the silence. No task remains undone here. No process waits to resume. Everything feels complete in its pause. The stillness feels intentional, earned, stable. Air continues its slow movement. Paper remains still. Light keeps its shape. Each element supports the others, without effort, without direction. Outside, the city continues without awareness. Inside, the archive does not respond. The separation feels gentle, protective, final. Nothing announces an ending. Nothing prepares a beginning. The room holds its quiet state, neutral, contained, enough. The archive remains exactly as it is. The lamp remains on. The shelves remain aligned. And the night continues elsewhere, while here the calm stays uninterrupted, unmoved, and complete through the remaining hours before morning. The archive settles into its deepest quiet. Nothing shifts on the shelves. Nothing changes its place. The room feels finished without needing an ending. The lamp continues to glow, soft, steady, unquestioned. Its light holds the desk, then gently fades into shadow beyond. Paper remains still. Folders rest where they belong. Years of records stay closed, complete in their silence. Air moves once more through the vent, a small presence, barely noticeable. It leaves everything exactly as it is. Time no longer feels separate from the room. Moments do not follow one another. They rest together, unmarked and calm. Outside, the city continues without notice. Inside, the archive remains untouched. The distance between them feels settled. Nothing asks to be remembered. Nothing asks to be opened. The pause feels sufficient on its own. The shelves stand quietly. The lamp stays on. The room holds its calm shape, and the archive remains orderly and still as the night carries on, slowly and evenly.